It's Week 13 of the National Football League, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Raiders and the Titans, coming up next.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback from the University of Houston. It's Kyle Allen.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work. In his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception.
Pick.
Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And meanwhile, Allen's throw here caught by Mims. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Henry running right. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Now a throw here, hauled in, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. Allen now looks to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To the air, Allen. That's caught right side by Mims. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What, does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point attempt to come here. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They could game catch the ball in the backfield a week ago. They're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
And defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limited to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Hurts. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for in May, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
What did they call that on?
So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Burt sets up to throw it. Flushed out right. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's go.
How about that run? Picks up the first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers put up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Completes this out left to Ruggs. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. He's going to be dropped following a... Past the 30 to the 32. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. A give to Henry. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. And now they'll throw with Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Denzel Mims that time. And it's 3rd and 5. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion. As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Allen. No gain on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Now Allen. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Let's get this. 44's the mic. 44's the mic. Check.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. Here's Allen to throw it. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So now the Titans are going to call upon their field goal unit here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Rohrwasser's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 50 yards on the ground for him so far.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From just shy of midfield, Hurts. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. But they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper it at 2nd and 1. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Now a quick throw out wide to Ruggs. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
Here we go.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top row. I like it. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Allen. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the handoff, it's Madison. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Jalen Waddle deep to return it. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
From the 44, Hurts eluding the pressure right. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down. On 1st down, Hurts over the middle, complete. That's Smith. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Second down at 4. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go as they take over with just 17 seconds left before the break. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll start down in the Sunshine State, an AFC East matchup between New England and Miami. And it's the Dolphins who have the lead in that one. Will Fuller, a touchdown reception. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. Justin Fields has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati see what's happening with the Bengals. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Bengals trying to hold on and claim victory. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And it's been the ground attack that's kept them in this ball game as they rushed for over 100 yards in those first 2 quarters of play. And meanwhile, for the Titans, they didn't have quite the same kind of success running the football, but still, not bad for one half of play. Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half. And for the call, let's get you back up to Nashville, Music City, and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Let's go.
The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Off the option, here's Jacobs. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Working with a 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Jacobs. Bulldozes past him. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jacobs now fights loose. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Hurts fumbles it. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a third down.
They've been running it well all game, and why not? The big guys up front, they're just having a ball, creating monster holes for their guys to run through.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. They run it with Jacobs. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Oh, the sneak. It's Hurts. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just enough space. And I love when those quarterbacks get low and slide in there and get it done.
A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Carlson now to add the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tackle like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Corey Littleton. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL. On EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. It's the former number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. A chance for Waddle on the return. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he gets it down to the 32. 137 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a carry for Jacobs. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll run with Jacobs. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Carlson able to put this one through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he's going to be met at the line. Scrimmage and taken down. Second and 10.
44's Mike. 44's Mike. Check.
Throwing now is Allen. Throw left side, taken in by Mims. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Now Allen. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Remember, that was fourth and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and fourth and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. The Titans on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. One final try here for Allen. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on fourth down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Play action. Here's Hurts. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Jacobs whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. On 3rd down, it's Jacobs. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Come on now.
Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Stops short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Raiders are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Carlson on for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Titans getting set and ready to go here for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone, and you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out, and I think their philosophy is we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go, baby.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. But it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Allen able to connect with Mims. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Allen now on first down. And the Raiders have got him. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Las Vegas, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.